call the Board of Zoning Appeals meeting for the Town of Chincoteague for February 11th. We'll call it to order. Mr. Bagley, would you give us the roll call, please, for the record?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Robert Chericks.
Present.
Michael McGee.
Here.
Ernest W. Smith, Jr.
Here.
Chuck Ward.
Here.
John Gillis.
Here.
Commission members, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. For the record and for a applicant's information, you must have the majority of the members present to have your appeal approved this evening. And you have the right to appeal any decision of the board to the circuit court within 30 days if you're not satisfied with what you received here. Mr. Bagley, would you read the case, please?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair and board members. The appeal 210113-1 have a variance request from Christina Britton, 8071 Zeders Lane, tax parcel 30A2-A-82. The applicant requests to place a new 27 by 61 home on the above parcel. The new home will be located 15 feet from the front property line and 14 feet from the back property line. The current zone requires a minimum of 25-foot setback from the front and rear property lines.
Thank you. Mr. Brenton, would you approach the podium there and in case the board has any questions, anything you want to say prior to us asking you questions?
Yeah, I mean, we have this cottage that was built by my wife's grandfather back in the late 60s that we bought from her grandmother. It's an old little house, and what we want to do is we want to build this new house and retire down here. But this house, the little cottage is very small, and so we want to build a new house so we can retire onto that. That's the purpose of putting this new house in there.
Does any of the board members have any questions, Mr. Brenton?
Will,
Yes.
we want to move in. It's rent. We're not waiting.
Yes, that's true. If this goes through, if the house is built, we're going to move here immediately. It's not just.
It'll be your permanent residence then?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Mr. Gee, do you have any questions of Mr. Brenton?
All right, done.
Okay. Mr. Chuck, do you have any questions?
Not that he could answer if any come up.
Okay. All right, I guess you can take a seat. We'll call you back if we have any questions.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. And we have no public participation, do we?
Yes,
Okay. All right, we'll close the public participation part and move on to board discussion of the appeal.
I have a question for Mr. Bowden.
Oh, all right, Mr. Baden, would you come to the podium?
In your opinion of reviewing this, would you say that the request creates a generally more conforming, it's not going to conform, which is why it's here, but is generally the request now going to create a situation that is equally or at least slightly closer to conforming than what is there now?
Well, you got one situation here. You got the existing home that could be replaced in the same footprint.
Certainly.
But their plan is to move to the side of the lot to rebuild. The new home is a little larger than the existing home.
Right.
They're still going to be sharp on their setbacks when they do it. So
Sure.
the new home will be, the size of the footprint of the home, the setbacks will be no more encroaching than what the existing home is now.
I want to repeat what you just said. The new home would be have no more encroachment than the existing
Right.
has now.
If you actually look at the measurements on the package I sent you, on the existing home, on the corners of it towards the front road is the 14 feet on the other side. I think on the farther back corner, I guess will actually be the northwest side is probably like 9-10 feet.
9 feet, yep.
Yep, on that side there.
Okay.
Okay, did that answer your question?
That's perfect.
Yes.
Jack, do you have any questions for him?
So the house is on there now is non-conforming, right?
Correct, yeah, yes, sir.
Mike?
I have no problem with it, I'll tell you right now, I just have no problem with it, the same footprint.
I like, it's actually, it fits more into,
Could you come to the podium so the mic will pick it up, please?
sorry. We're actually gonna be the new house is gonna be further back than the existing house, so it's gonna be further away from the property lines than the existing house. I can show you a picture, I mean, it's extremely close to the other houses. And I've talked to my neighbors, I mean, we are all packed in. If you don't mind, I'd like to show a picture that I just took. How close these houses are, and this will make it much better than it is now. Can I approach this?
Just walk around, let's take a look at it.
Okay, so this is the existing house, this is my neighbor's house, and this is my other neighbor's house. You're only 10 feet, 9, 10 feet off of this property line here. You want to go 30 feet, you want to put it way back. And it's going to be much further away from anybody's house. This is the thing of our house, that's the neighbor's house, and that's the other neighbor's house. You can see we're all sitting right on top of each other. That's our house, that's the neighbor's house, and that's the other neighbor's house. And there's barely any space in between. That's our house. That's the existing house, and that's the existing house. Our house, existing house, existing house.
Any other discussion?
I have.
Okay.
How many houses in the area is like yours, as far as the 25-foot setback? They all,
No, the house that's in front of us doesn't meet those setbacks either. The other three houses, there's a house across the street meets the setbacks, and there's another one, catty corner to ours, that meets setbacks. The house that's directly in front of ours, that's on Ridge Road, does not meet the setbacks either. And all our neighbors are very, very much with us.
So most of what's in there now is non-conforming.
Excuse
I
me.
said most of what's in there now is non-conforming?
The new, our existing house?
No, the houses that are in the parcel of land now.
Well, the one in front of us is not, but the other three are.
The one improvement that's going to be down there also is going to be a new septic in there.
Exactly. That is a very old septic system.
Comes to where the one that's there is old.
Just out of curiosity, while you're standing here, was there any incentive on the placement of the house based on the septic work that the septic design? I mean, is that how the house was?
Well, one of the reasons we wanted to move it back because the shape of the lot, it's larger on the backside. It's wider as it goes back.
Right, I see that.
So that gave us more room to do it. But there's also two big, beautiful magnolia trees that are on the lot, and we wanted to set it back there so we didn't have to take those two trees down.
Sure. Okay.
Anybody else have anything? All right, I'll call.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
reminded that we've had the subject, George got it to come out and looked at it, and it will fit where our existing house is.
Yes, we've had septic, I believe that's in
Yeah, it's in the pack.
Yeah, we see that design.
yeah.
Yep.
All right, I'll call for a motion.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Chuck.
I was just going to ask the question.
Go
that-
ahead now, time to do it.
We have a new zoning administrator, and I just wanted to ask him for some guidance before anybody made a motion. Would you prefer to have a motion reference the reason for the motion and the move to approve so that you have something to document in a finding, or, I'm just, you know,
As long as we make a motion, reason why, how you want to do it.
right, okay. Okay.
Mike, you had something else?
I have nothing else.
All right, I'll call for a motion then.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
And Chuck, did you want to give a reason that we're, you know?
I think that it's the obvious reason for this is what the zoning administrator stated to us, that the new construction is going to be no more non-conforming than the existing structure already is.
That's correct.
So I think that could be the finding of the board, is that the proposed house is not going to be any more non-conforming.
All right, call for the vote. Mr.
Approve.
Chuck?
Approved.
And Chairman approves. You've got your,
Thank you very
variance.
much.
Thank you. I guess,
I have a question. Do we close, do you have to close that part, or?
well, we can close it. That's already closed and settled, so.
Okay. I do have one question. It's been so long since we've met, the last time. The minutes from the last meeting, did we ever get a draft of those to approve, or?
I've got it here, right here, tonight if y'all want to look at it. It was the one on the firehouse.
Correct, yes.
There was a,
You want to look at them?
I mean, do you need to vote on that tonight? I think we're supposed to.
We do, if there's no changes in it,
Okay.
you know, it's on.
If you had asked me what the last meeting was, I wouldn't have
I know
remembered.
it, Mark had to look it up. I couldn't remember neither. I mean, it's been so long.
And that's a good thing.
Mhm.
That's a good thing.
In the future, Mark, if you would include a copy of those minutes from this meeting, right when we have one. I'll show you when we're through here what we have.
That's what I remember.
That's all right to you?
Generally what I remember. Now that I remember what the meeting is about.
See anything wrong with them? See anything wrong with them?
No,
Okay. All right, now we've had this, I guess we'll go ahead and close the Board of Zoning Appeals for February 11th. Closed.